Grace and peace, everyone. This is Malik, your addiction recovery coach, coming back at you, giving you the real in recovery. Today, I wanted to come on here and share this video that really just impacted me and just reminded me of just when I was out there drinking and driving and getting behind the wheel after using drugs. And it also made me think about the time frame and how long I did that, for how many years I did that. I caught my first DUI at the age of 21, and my second DUI was at the age of 40 years old. So that's 19 years right there. But I got my license at 16, and I was already drinking and driving, and I didn't check myself into rehab and become clean from alcohol and drugs until 49. So we're talking about the span of 33 years driving drunk and high. So I just want to play this video, and I'll come back on and just share about it and talk about it.
Bike crash that killed her cousin will spend 67 years in prison. A judge handed down Jennifer Carvajal's sentence this morning. Now, this is the second time she'll go to prison for a deadly DUI accident.
Yeah, Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer was in court today to hear what she and her family had to say about this punishment.
Prosecutors portrayed Jennifer Carvajal as a danger to the community who cared more about staying out of prison than about the people in her car.
In April 2021, an FHP trooper's dashboard camera recorded a car going at least 110 miles an hour. Earlier this year, Jennifer Carvajal admitted she was behind that wheel and was drunk when the vehicle swerved off I-4 and crashed into a car dealership. The accident killed Carvajal's 22-year-old cousin, Pedro Carvajal. Jennifer will now spend more than 60 years in prison.
The constant void that will always be there because of selfish acts that Jennifer decided to do. It is something that we live with and live through every single day.
In February, Carvajal pleaded guilty to DUI manslaughter. Pedro's aunt testified during Carvajal's sentencing Friday that the accident left their family devastated.
We live through it with our family gatherings. We live through it through holidays. We live through it through birthdays and anniversaries. Where Pedro is now empty.
Two other passengers were seriously hurt. One of them was Lexia Gonzalez, who testified Carvajal asked her to say she was driving so Carvajal could stay out of trouble.
What did she say?
Tell them you were driving.
This was the second time Carvajal killed someone while driving drunk. She spent 5 years in prison following a deadly DUI accident in 2014 when she was 16 years old. Carvajal told the PAC courtroom Friday that she regrets her mistakes.
How can I be worthy enough to beg my family for forgiveness?
She asked for a lenient sentence. She said her decisions followed a traumatic childhood that included years of abuse she never addressed. And Carvajal says she wishes she could have traded places with her cousin.
I want you to know I will continue to live for him. I can't replace him and I can't undo anything, but one thing I know for sure, he will never be forgotten.
That promise wasn't enough for the judge, who agreed with prosecutors that Carvajal has proven twice that she's a danger to the community.
She has now committed 2 acts of DUI and taken 2 people's lives while doing it.
So the judge sentenced Carvajal to about 67 years in prison. She would be in her 90s by the time she's eligible to get out. In Tampa, Aaron Mesmer, Fox 13 News.
Well, the driver
Wow. So, it's so many things that stand out to me watching this. And as I go back to saying, this is not for me, it's just to show God's mercy and His grace on my life, because that could have been me. And one of the main things among many is selfishness. How we are so selfish when we are intoxicated, when we're under the influence of alcohol and drugs, because it doesn't matter who is around us, who's in the car with us, who's driving around us, who's walking on the streets. We're not even thinking about any of that as long as we're fulfilling what we wanted to do, whether it was getting drunk and high, going somewhere. We're not thinking about anyone. And what stood out to me was that she asked her friend to take the blame for it because she had already killed someone drunk driving. So now you have a cousin that you killed, and it's a miracle after looking at that car going 110 miles per hour and seeing how that car ended up, that her and that other young lady are still alive. That's nothing but the grace of God. But unfortunately, her cousin didn't make it, and she has to live with that the rest of her life. So now you talk about the family having resentment and unforgiveness towards her. Will they ever forgive her? Will she forgive herself? See, this is the vicious disease of alcohol and drug abuse. And it's very cunning, it's very baffling and powerful. That's why you would say, right, why would she get back behind the wheel drunk driving and she already killed someone? That's the disease. So it's a total lack of judgment when we're under these substances, using these substances. Now she basically has thrown her life away. That's 2 lives. And more than that have been impacted because the family has to deal with this trauma. And like the family member said, they're devastated. So it's not worth it, And as I see this, I just say, wow, I must have driven high and drunk over 1,000 times. So if this resonates with you and you see yourself anywhere in this, you may not be at the point where you're drinking and driving all the time, but if you're even thinking that I may have an issue with alcohol or drug abuse, then I encourage you to DM me. This doesn't have to be public. You can do this private. It's confidential. And I would love to just have a conversation with you and talk more about where you are. What are the ideas that you had about this story? And what is your desired outcome? So I look forward to hearing from you. DM me, or if you like, you can comment in the comment section. Have a blessed day.